tutorial on the web development with HTML and CSS. Well, for now, because we're going to eventually use Python. But anyway, so welcome back. Here's what I'm going to do today. So recall that in last tutorial, I talked about how to set up your environment. So now we can go ahead and get started to some real HTML coding. So we will talk about the basic of HTML structure, or specifically is HTML5. There's some basic structure that every HTML file have. So HTML is made up by tags. But before I talk that more deeper, I just want to talk about what is HTML briefly. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's not a language that you will see like JavaScript or Python or C or C++ or Ruby or Scala or Go that you probably heard of. But this is actually a markup language. So just for displaying the text, not even style yet. We'll learn about how to style later. But yeah, so now let's learn about some few basic tags. So the first thing is you want to hit this less than sign. As you can see here, this is a less than. And then if you are in Visual Studio Code, by the way, if you're not, please open up. You can see all the available tags that is in HTML version 5. So every HTML code is start with this specific tab, the preamble of an HTML document, otherwise known as doc type HTML. So this specifies the document type. This is HTML. This should always be the first line of your HTML code. Next, we'll type that again, and standard is type HTML. So this is the root of the HTML element. By the way, to close a tag, you can use the greater than to close the current tag. But to close the group, you will generally add a // then the element's name. However, we will not always use this. You will not always have an and tag. So sometimes, like this heading tag, you just have this tag. You don't have an ending tag. And then we will later see more with this. Okay, so this is our HTML now. We still cannot write some actual HTML code yet. This here is divided into two parts, head and body. So head is where we preload some CDN or some style sheet or some CSS and JavaScript file. We are going to preload them here with some meta tag where we are going to learn a little bit later. But for now, just going to focus on body tag. So today's where we're going to write the actual code here. Okay. So the first 6 tags we are going to learn is H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. This is the header tag. So where I can type something like the biggest header tag, the second biggest header tag, the medium large header tag, the medium small header tag, the small header tag, and the smallest header tag. So how can we view this? Well, we actually have a thing called browser preview here. So I believe you can download via extensions where you can search browser preview. I believe that you can download this. This is what I use, and then I'm going to click here. So it's going to open another window for you, like here. Whoops. Just one. And then what you will do is you will go ahead, find the current file. So name this file as index.html. By the way, if you want to save this file, make sure you can save whatever name you want, but generally it's preferred by index.html. Make sure your extension is .html. Otherwise it won't work. And now go ahead, double click on this. Use two finger to click. And then you can copy path. And now go ahead, paste the path here. And what we should see. And you probably need to add file : / here. And now what you see is your HTML file. It's a little bit complicated, but don't worry. There will be a note associated down there if you want to check the note out. So this is the biggest header tag, the second biggest header tag, the medium large header tag, and the small header tag, smallest header tag, and the small header tag, etc. So this is H1 to H6, all our header tags. They all have an closing. Make sure you all have a closing tag for these 6 tags. So H1 is the largest, H6 is the smallest. Now, I want to learn how to create a paragraph. So, I can create a paragraph using P tag. So, just like, I'm going to do it again. So, smaller than sign, P, greater than sign. Then in Visual Studio Code, it will auto-closing for you. But if you don't, most code editors should auto-closing for you. But if you don't, make sure manually close it. And I can type something, say, hello. If I refresh, and indeed you saw hello here, and then I can create another paragraph, say world. And now you can see they are treated as paragraph. Now, what if you want to make them on the same line, but with the line break? For example, you want this to come closer to world, not that far, so not entirely paragraph. Well, so the first thing that we will do is make sure they're on the same paragraph, but we will add a BR. BR stands for line break, and what you see is hello world, print out like this. This is one way to do it, but maybe not the most conventional way, but yeah. So this is how could you get this done. P tag. Alright, now we're going to talk about some more formatting tags. For example, B tag is bold. So like bold. And now you can see this get bold. This is paragraph with a line break. This is bold. And then we can also have I. This means italic. So it's a little bit, you can see italic is like this. And then we also have U for underline. Underline. And yeah. So, seems easy so far, right? We have also other tags I want to talk about. So, one tag I want to talk about is how could you link to other web page. So, you can use href for that. This is an anchor tag that this contains. Use a space href. Then in here, you're going to type a URL, or you can type 2 things here. But one thing you can type is URL. We're gonna learn what else you can type here later, and then make sure you close it. Now, this is the most confusing tag I've found when I start to learn HTML. You need to put the text that you want to display as a hyperlink. So you can say link to Google, And then if you refresh the page again, and I will see a blue underlined text set link to Google. So if you click on this, it redirects you to Google. Alright, so that's pretty cool. And the last two tag we're going to learn is some bullet list. So some list tag. So to create a list, so we're gonna learn first is unordered list or bulleted list. So for example, you can type UL for unordered list. Then you're going to make sure you indent. Well, you don't have to indent, but for style, make sure you indent. And then, by the way, to indent, you can press space or tab key. It's really up to you. Eventually, though, it's going to become a little bit problem when learning Python. But, well, for now, it's fine. So now we're inside of the UL tag, so between the opening UL and closing UL, you're going to put LI here. So it's opening LI and closing LI. It's line item, so it's each bulleted like item you will see. So for example, bulleted list item 1, and I can just copy paste 2, 3. Also, you need to remember when doing programming or computer science in general, when you copy paste, it's always not the most efficient way to do it. But for now, we'll stick to this in an efficient way. We'll learn how to make it faster. And now what you see is bulleted list. But now we're going to call this unordered list in HTML. How do you create ordered list or like numbered? So you can create ordered list using OL. And then same you need use with line item. So I can say ordered list item 1. Copy. Paste, paste. So 2 and 3. So here's what you will see. You will see like 1 dot space order list item 1, 2 dot space order list item 2, etc. Alright, so I think this is all we will do today. Really simple, but hopefully you can understand there's a note attached to it, and there is also a sort of assignment sleeve there if you want to claim a certificate of a accomplishment after watching of my or the code bakery tutorial on the web development. Make sure to do the every assignment you want to receive the certificate. Detailed information will link down into the description below. And yes, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.